I wanted to share the three types of support that I've built around myself so that I can step in, get my administrative work done, both in my personal life and my home, taking care of everything, and in my business, taking care of everything there. Hello there. My name is Steve Mattis, and I help neurodivergent, highly sensitive folks that usually run a small business and also have a trauma history to work through the challenges that come with neurodivergence and trauma and high sensitivity. Personally, I'm neurodivergent. I have autism. I have a RSD profile, rejection sensitive dysphoria. I have a pervasive demand avoidance profile as well. So lots of challenges. I'm a single person, so I run my household by myself. I am a small business owner, and I am a solo small business owner, so I run my business by myself. And one of the things that comes up a lot every day is getting administrative tasks completed. Having the profile that I do with my neurodivergence, and I also have a long history of complex trauma that I've done a lot of work around. How do I get my administrative tasks done? Let's be really clear. I do not enjoy administrative tasks. I used to. When I was younger, in my teens and 20s and early 30s, I was really good at it. And I found a way to like leverage my skill doing administrative tasks, doing admin work, and I got paid for it. Of course, I didn't get paid at home. I was married at the time, though, so it was a different kind of environment. And then at 35, I left my marriage, and I've been single since, mostly. And I'm doing it all myself. Struggled with getting the admin stuff done ever since. Ever since I've stepped into doing what I love, helping people that have a profile similar to me, small business owners, neurodivergent, highly sensitive, have a trauma history, helping us work with our nervous systems and helping us navigate our neurodivergence and our trauma symptoms that come up while we're running a business and living a life. Oh, I love that work. It's what I live for. And ever since I've stepped into that, I really don't like doing the admin work. It often would pile up. It would become completely overwhelming. It would overstimulate my nervous system, and I would go into a dorsal response of shutdown and collapse. But I don't do that very often anymore. And I wanted to share the three types of support that I've built around myself so that I can step in, get my administrative work done, both in my personal life and my home, taking care of everything, and in my business, taking care of everything there. The first thing that I have done is I've created systems. This is so important because I don't have to manage the administrative work. I have to manage the system. And if I simply work my system, the administrative work gets done. I'm not focused on all of the administrative work. I'm focused on my systems because my systems are what lead me to get it done. So it's really, really helpful. There's a lot of different types of systems, way too much beyond the scope of this video. I'm happy to talk more about my systems. If that would be helpful, please just leave a comment below and I'd be happy to do that. But systems help me meet the tasks. One way that my systems do that is by making admin tasks really tiny, really small bite-sized chunks. Now, some people like to work in like bigger blocks of time. They like to block out 90 minutes or 3 hours or whatever and like go all in on admin tasks and get them all done. I can't do that. It's too painful for me. So my systems have to break down the tasks into very small doable chunks. They're so easy that I can't not do them. 99% of my days, I can get the admin work done that I need to get done because my system brings it to me and says, here's 2 minutes of work. Can you do that? And I check in with my capacity. Usually I have capacity for 2 minutes of admin work and I do it and it's done. Now, I might have 4 or 5, 10 of those things a day. Sometimes it's longer than that just because it just is. But the worst, repetitive, unpleasant stuff, I break down into doable chunks. The system helps support me in doing that. Number 2 is I've found that I can get the admin work done if it meets my needs. Now, let's be really clear. Meeting my needs doesn't mean that I enjoy it. Meeting my needs means that it helps me feel safe. One of the things that I've discovered in my work and I share with clients is that oftentimes I hear clients say, especially those with trauma and neurodivergence, is that I want to feel safe. And like we look at that as a specific need and we go after trying to feel safe. But what I found is that safety is an outcome. Safety is an outcome of having our needs met, or at least enough of our needs met. And so if our needs get met, the result is we feel safe. And so what I've done is I've identified some needs of mine that doing administrative work meets. Needs such as order, accomplishment, security, predictability, consistency. Here's one. I don't know that this is actually a need. Maybe it's a dysfunction. I don't know. But I like to control. I can be controlling. I like to have control over my environment, especially as a neurodivergent person. It's really, really important to me, right? I need to be really careful about the temperature and the clothes that I wear and the sound that's around me and smells and order and chaos and clutter and all the things. It's really, really important for me in order to even function. Administrative work doesn't facilitate me feeling in control. It like piles up. And if it's sitting there, it's like a monkey on my back, right? It's so unpleasant. It's way overstimulating for me in my neurodivergence. So having control over that either being done or undone, and I can get it done, get it off my back, have it out of sight, not piling up, gives me a gigantic sense of freedom, which is another need, autonomy, choice, the ability to choose to get it done. So that is really, really helpful. And all of those things help me feel safe. And so what I've done over the years is I have accomplished administrative tasks, is I have had deeply somatic, ingrained experiences in my system, somatic feeling in my body, how I feel when the tasks are complete, the sense of safety that I feel, the sense of relief, expansiveness, groundedness, openness, autonomy when the admin tasks are gone. And by doing that, I've been able to connect in my nervous system, doing those admin tasks consistently every day as they come up in my system with safety. And so now it's not about doing the task, it's about accessing a sense of safety. It meets my needs. It's really, really a beautiful way to approach it. It's been so supportive. Now, this third piece I find to be really activating. It's a word I don't like. I don't know any other word to use, and so I'm going to use it, but please take care of yourself as I say this next one. Number 3, the last support, one of the last supports that I use is discipline. Now, I don't mean discipline in the way that it's traditionally used of like forcing yourself beyond your capacity or to do something you don't want to do. While that may technically be true, what I'm meaning is like the Latin original form of discipline was a disciplina, I think. I don't know how to say it. It means instruction originally. It meant instruction. It meant teaching. It meant knowledge. It meant learning. And when I use the word discipline, that's what I mean. Because as I have grown, I'm 51 now, the last 15 or so years of my life, I have, as I mentioned earlier, grown to detest doing admin work. I try to avoid it at all costs, especially with my pervasive demand for autonomy, or as it's officially known, a pathological demand avoidance. Every admin task feels like a demand. And so I've had to find the ways to support myself so that my PDA profile doesn't stop me. It still comes up, but it doesn't stop me. Discipline is one of the ways. But again, not in a way of harming myself to force myself to do something, but in a way of learning to work with my system so that I can get the task done. Here's what I mean. I used to feel like I had to be motivated to do the tasks, like I had to want to do them. I spent years gaslighting myself, trying to pretend like, oh, I'm motivated to get this admin work done. No, I wasn't motivated to get the admin work done at all. I used to mask my distaste for admin work so that I could be a good performer, which was one of my strategies, being a perfectionist, in order to earn and be worthy of love. Of course, those strategies were completely unhelpful, unfruitful. They were harmful to me. And so what I came to finally realize, the discipline, the learning, the instruction that I came to understand is that doing things that I don't enjoy, I will never be motivated to do those things. Why on earth would we feel motivated to do something we don't want to do? Right? It seems so simple when we say it out loud, but we go through life thinking that, as I have for so many years. So my discipline, my instruction, my learning has helped me dissociate motivation from doing the tasks. My discipline, my instructions that I give myself are, or is, do the task, do the next task. My systems bring the task up and I do the next task. Here's what I don't do. My, again, discipline, instruction, instructing myself how I'm going to behave in relationship with my to-do list is when the task comes up, I do the task. I don't decide if I'm going to do the task. I don't question whether or not I'll do the task. I don't consider whether or not now is the right time to do the task. When the task shows up, it gets done. The decision is already made. If it's on the list, it gets done. I have my energy and attention span is narrow, and those resources are really precious to me. I can't waste those precious resources trying to decide if I'm going to do a task that I don't want to do. If it's on my list, if it's in the system, it has to be done. It's going to have to be done. Like brushing my teeth, it's going to have to be done. And don't get me wrong, I struggle with that every day. I do it every day, but I struggle with it every day because it feels like a demand to me. But it's in my system. Now, if you don't have neurodivergence, that might seem completely nonsensical to you, right? You just do it. Like, why do you have to struggle with it, right? I struggle with it. I struggle with all of those things. That to me is an admin task. And I don't like it, but it's in my system. It's part of a routine and it gets done. Another part of my discipline is that when I do a task that takes however long it takes, one of the things that I do is I take at least twice as long, usually, most of the time, I take twice as long as it takes to do the task to celebrate, affirm, acknowledge the fact that I did the task. I even work with my internal parts. I call the Madness Council, somatic parts work. And I reinforce the sense of safety that I feel in my body from having done the task. I affirm, we did it. We got it done. You brushed your teeth. Yay, we celebrate. When I don't do that for a while, I feel the weight of those tasks start to burden me down. And so part of my discipline, part of my practice is making sure that I don't neglect the celebration, the affirmation, the acknowledgement of every small thing that gets done, because for me and my system, with my neurodivergence and my trauma, nothing is small. Nothing is small. So the celebration, the affirmation, the acknowledgement matters a ton. That's part of the discipline. So those are the three things: systems, needs, and discipline. I hope something there is helpful. If you have any questions or would like me to express more about any or all of those, please leave a comment down below. Also, if this was helpful for you, if you are a small business owner and you have neurodivergence, if you're highly sensitive, if you have a trauma history, please like and subscribe and follow along, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.